Hello. We're back.
Hello. We are back. You want some ASMR really quick?
Yes.
That wasn't that good.
No, it didn't even. Psh.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Well, never mind.
Well, how are you?
I'm good. I'm catching up on sleep. I was terribly sick Friday and Saturday, but all is well now. Feeling good. Feeling better. How are you?
Doing good. We're actually recording on a Wednesday this week, so
Yay!
claps for us.
Hmm.
But I always have talking points like all throughout the workday, and I'm like, don't write them down because I don't know why. I always think of them at times where I'm like, I don't want to be on my phone.
I do the same thing, and then I don't write them down, and then I'm like, I guess we'll never talk to each other. So
no, I'm never gonna remember what it is. I do think one of them was today that was like, I just thought of one. Oh, shoot. Okay, it was like, what is the, have you seen the TikTok? You're not on TikTok, but maybe it's on Instagram.
no, I'm not.
Where it's like, what is it agenda? That you're not buying into or something like that. I can't remember the wording.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, I know exactly what you're saying. I also just forgot.
I don't remember the word.
What is the word that they all say the same thing?
Oh,
not the bias, not the
propaganda.
You're so propaganda. There we go. That you're not buying into.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen some good ones. My one recently, I don't know, it's not very short, but it's to do with like the diet industry. What's happening?
My dog, they just got in from being outside, and so they're losing it.
Excited. Same. I walked to the store, and then when I came back, I was like, I forget how much it's so much fun, and then also like I was hot.
Yeah.
I forget how hot you get. Just go outside. I love that for them.
I like that they're in this room. There are so many other rooms they could go be in the house.
Yeah. Well, you're safe. This is a safe space for them to just go, and it's all of them.
It's every single animal is in here right now. It's fine. It's okay. I also say like they could be in any room. I don't have a huge house, but I'm just like they could be in other rooms. Yeah. They don't have to be here.
There's at least one other room that they could go.
At least. Anyways, but yeah, the propaganda. Anyway. What's yours?
The one that I'm not falling for is now, like, certain things in the diet industry. Some things I do fall for, like, because they're right, unfortunately, about some things, but some just like aren't. Like all carbs are bad.
No, right.
Like that nonsense. And that we grew up in a carbs are bad time. Not necessarily like in my house all carbs were bad, but sometimes. But that was like the thought. So that's just something I knew growing up was all of them were bad. Other things are I don't know about specifics. Do you have one?
I had one when I thought of it earlier, but I can't remember both things. I can't remember what it was.
Mine also is like letting people change my opinion. Like I'll have an opinion on something and someone's like, I don't like that, and I go, okay.
I used to be
I'm not gonna argue with you.
I used to be so bad about being like, you know what? Actually, I changed my like when I was younger. Like if you told me you did not agree with me, I'd be like, well, then my opinion's your opinion.
Right, then you're right and I'm wrong. And I feel sometimes I feel like very strong in my opinions like that. Like I just don't want to argue with people on stuff. I think I'm just tired of arguing.
Oh, I remembered it.
Over opinions. Okay,
so
please.
Sorry. Okay. I gave myself a haircut yesterday. Because I had read to
Love.
grow your hair, you should do it every 10 weeks, which I always, after I do it, I'm always like, I chopped off too much, even though I don't think I chopped off enough. Like, I didn't chop off a lot. But I don't
Yeah.
know that I buy into that narrative. What happens if I don't cut my hair? Does
Right.
it truly just split into, I just would have, like, what would happen? I know they say it breaks off from split ends, but does
Do
it?
do okay, so I get split ends.
Yeah, I do too.
But I don't know what happens, like, does it stop growing? Do split ends stop it from growing?
And that's what I don't know. Because I'm just like, I feel like I go through this cycle where it starts to grow back after I cut it. And I do the method where I cut off, like, not that much. Because I do the Brad Mondo technique where you pull a piece of hair out of your ponytail and that's the length that you can cut, like, when you put it
Oh,
back. And then I pull it all to the
yes.
front and do, I think it's the butterfly.
I think so.
And
Yeah.
again, not a ton. I love how it looks, but then today I've been like, my hair is so short, but I don't know if it's just because it's choppy. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't understand the thing behind I don't understand hair because
Right.
men have to get their hair cut so often because it gets so long so
Yes.
quickly, but mine feels like it hasn't done anything in the last year.
Yep.
But then also like body hair, I'm
Yes.
all for the body hair movement. Like I don't shave because I'm lazy or I forget. I don't do
Mm-hmm.
it because I'm a feminist. I am, but that's not why. But like at some point it just like stops grow like my leg hair it just stops growing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, so where does is it gonna stop? Like is our head hair gonna stop at some point? Like eyebrows, it'll grow in if I don't if I don't like do my little
Mm-hmm.
curve, but they don't grow longer. The ones that have been here forever.
Hmm.
You know
See,
what I mean? So I don't understand hair. But so I
yeah.
agree. I don't know what happens and I don't understand because it grows up here, so why are the ends having anything to do with it?
And that's, yeah. That's, is it all fake? And if any hairdresser comes in and tells me I'm wrong, I mean, I'm going to keep cutting my hair because at this point I feel like it gets to a point that I'm like, oh, after I cut it and like it's nice and layered, I'm like, wow, this looks incredible. And then I go through the cycle
Yeah.
again where I also have the too much gene where once I start cutting, I don't know how much is coming off. When I vacuum, wasn't
I
that much,
did.
but
Oh, okay. But when you look at yourself, you see it.
I mean, it was maybe like I feel like I swept up pieces that were that big. So it doesn't feel like it
Hmm.
should make an impact, but it looks like
That was
it.
like an
Yeah.
maybe inch and a half that you just held up. Like, and it really shouldn't feel like it's that much. But then you like do this
Yes.
down like where it used to be, and you're like, oh, that is kind of a
Yeah.
lot. Yeah. I did think about that's so funny. Yesterday, I thought about when we were young and I cut your hair in my bathroom.
Loved it. Best haircut.
Honestly, I thought it was a great job.
Yeah, no, you did great.
Actually, I can't remember.
I can't believe my mom didn't
For us
ground
being
me.
in high school, not bad. Do what?
I'm so surprised I wasn't grounded. I think it was because you
Same.
cut it, because normally I would get in trouble for all sorts of stuff like that, but nothing was
Yeah.
really even said.
But it was cut.
Oh, it was cut a
It
lot.
it was cut.
Oh, that was such a good
I
night.
don't know why I thought about that the other day, but I did.
Well,
Yesterday, it was literally yesterday I thought about it.
what about hair glasses? Are you buying into that? I've been thinking about getting one, but then I get too scared to do anything to my hair.
Hair gloss? What is that?
It's okay, so they have ones that are color, and so you put them on and they add a color, but it also adds like a layer that's supposed to make your hair like super shiny and pretty. So I've thought about getting one, but then I'm
Hmm.
also just so scared of screwing up anything. So I don't know.
Yeah, but you've been working really hard on your hair.
I need to get more scalp stuff.
I
Yeah.
feel. Because that's something that watching you do it makes me like realize how much like you telling me about some of the things that you would do got me to do something. Now, don't look at my hair as evidence, but it like reminded me that like seeing the change in your hair and you saying, "Yeah, I've been doing these things," I was like, "Okay, you can
Mm-hmm.
change it about your hair." So I can see where you're like, I don't want to mess it up,
I know,
but I
I'm
don't want
just
to.
scared. And I will say that
Yeah,
I've gotten bad about doing, I used to do a nightly serum. I've ran out of it and it's just like, it's not a lot of money, but $22 sometimes just hurts.
yeah,
But I do still
yeah,
get, and this has lasted forever, on the hair wash days, I do the rosemary oil. I put it in my hair.
yeah.
And I honestly feel like that has done, it lifts up the work. It does everything. I don't know what it's doing,
Do
but it
you?
feels like it.
Is it before you wash? You put
Mm-hmm.
it in before you wash?
Yeah, I do that for
I've
like
I've read all the
hours.
things. Or is before?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've read the things. I have so many screenshots of like, wait,
Yeah.
when do you do this? And then I've just never done. I have rosemary oil in my bathroom, but I just don't.
Yeah.
I just like decide to take a shower,
Mm-hmm.
and so I'm like, well, that didn't do it.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I have not heard of that thing you said though. A gloss,
Yeah,
whatever.
it's pretty. My sister did one and hers was super dark. So some do have color and that's where I'm a little scared.
Mhm.
Um I will say as a disclaimer, do not let people sell you on the internet things that are make your hair thicker. It's genetics.
No.
Now, I will
Yeah.
say I do think that the stuff I did to my hair, the rosemary, the ordinary, I feel like it helped with fullness almost. Like I felt like it helped it grow in. It felt healthier at the scalp.
Hmm.
Your hair texture is your
Maybe
hair texture.
sparsity.
Yes, that.
Yes.
Now,
Like
well, I say your hair texture is
because
your
I
hair
can see
texture.
that.
But like, but if you
Yes.
have fine thin hair, hey, you're going to have fine thin hair. Like, it's
Yeah,
okay.
that's me.
Don't let people sell
But
you on it.
it's just learning. No, and I do a vitamin for hair, skin, and nails, but that's for health. I have given up on any of the things that say it'll do anything else to it. But I am getting into. I was told for so many years because my hair is fine and thin, I'm not supposed to use conditioners. And
Oh.
conditioners will only hurt or it will make it will wear it down type of thing. And recently I'm like, hey, if I really like really condition my hair, it feels really nice and it looks really nice. Again, don't take today, it's back. But I was like, huh, I think conditioning, because I'll do it like a little bit
Mm-hmm.
because I was so nervous. And now I'm like, hey, if you really condition your hair, it it does good things. So that's me in my 30 years of having this hair just now learning that just because your hair is thin and fine doesn't mean it's a lost cause and you can still do
Mm-hmm.
things to it to make it look nice.
Or 100%. I just like, I feel like things are so gimmicky and like people with like aging and stuff too. I know we talk about aging like every episode, but people are
I
always
know.
like, oh, what's your secret? Hey, most of it's genetics. Obviously, don't smoke cigarettes,
Yep.
wear sunscreen and lotion. But for the most part, hey, look at your parents.
Yeah. It's true. And that's another thing that I won't fall for is things sold to me on the internet anymore, like those like quick things that I see everywhere. The only thing that I will stand by so far is my backpack that also was a personal item. I
Yeah.
don't remember what I don't remember what the brand is, but that was the one that I was like,
Yeah, no, for sure.
okay, but everything else, I got the hair trimmer,
I
the split end trimmer, and it cuts my hair.
wondered about that.
It like up at if I start it from the bottom, a big thing. So thin, fine hair, I get blunt cuts now because I've found out that they make your hair look like a little more chill. But this thing, it like like the ends are like definitely not even. And when I used it up at the top, it like cut one piece like way up here. It was so I haven't thrown it away, but I definitely am going to. That last time was my final straw.
I wondered about that.
Yeah. Well, and I saw that like it does it on like some of them, but not my whole head. And then it took a chunk out of the front of my hair. So
Well, good to know.
I Yeah, I don't recommend
Oh my
just
gosh.
go to the I go to a it's like a hair school
Yeah.
in town. 20 bucks for a haircut
Yeah.
and I have a great time.
Yeah.
So, throw away your hair trimmers and just go to the nearest hair school, pay
Go do that.
$20.
I do cut my own hair, but as I mentioned, it's a risk.
Oh, or that. I used to cut my own hair too. But then I cut it really short and it's hard for
And
me
that,
to
yeah,
like
that's what I
keep
was gonna
up.
say. I was like, if it was short, I couldn't do it. It's too scary.
No, it's getting longer, but when my hair was really long, like I used to do that all the time. I'm an advocate. Cut your own hair. I cut
Mm-hmm.
my own hair for years. Um, or go to find a hair school.
Yeah.
I get a new person every single time I go, and it's because they're all learning and graduating, so it doesn't
Mm-hmm.
don't you're not going to get your one person forever, but go to a hair school, cut your own hair. Who cares? It's hair.
Also, the my last topic on the buying stuff off like TikTok and stuff.
Please.
Right now,
Yeah.
people are selling this skinny tea. They're talking all about the skinny tea and all these nutrients. And here's the thing. Could it work? Maybe. Has any other
Maybe.
gimmicky thing I've ever seen? It either makes you shit your pants or it'll give you a
Mhm.
heart issue because it's speeding up your heart. Just don't trust it. Or do it at your own risk, but
It's true.
just know there's some bad option. It's probably going to make you poop your pants.
Yeah. I I say that, but I'm currently taking something I definitely saw on the internet, but it helps with like everything else that I have going on. Like it partners with a lot of those things.
Mm-hmm.
So, but here's the thing, I do it and know your own self. Know
Yep.
you're probably going to waste your money. You can't buy things online like that and think that you're making a really good investment.
I guess, yeah, just research it, I guess. See what's
Yeah.
in it. Don't just trust, because people are calling it nature's Ozempic. And I'm like, well, what does that mean? Because Ozempic has some stuff being said that's not great about it. So,
Well, and Ozempic is put directly into your body, like your bloodstream. It doesn't go in your stomach. So that doesn't make sense to me.
right. So,
I've
just,
seen a lot of things that are like that say something like that. I'm like, guys. Anyway,
okay.
do
Well,
your research, talk
do
to
your
your
research.
doctor,
Yes.
talk to someone else who's done, you know what I mean? Talk to some people.
Yep. 100%.
Nature's Ozempic.
I know. Well,
Really.
welcome back to our 15th episode of Oops All Opinions.
Whoa.
I
That's exciting.
know. I know.
That-
Please don't
That's
come in here and
super
vomit.
exciting. Well, what if I need to?
Just give it a burped and then
I
start
gotta
chewing.
vomit somewhere.
Ugh, on the carpets. Sorry, I'm
Lovely.
relaxed. I never remember which one is supposed to go first, and I feel like I always do it. But I'm relaxed. You're that one chick.
Yes.
Tell us what's up today.
Today, oh, and this is Oops All Opinions.
Mm-hmm.
If you have an opinion that differs from ours,
Mm-hmm.
what can they do about it?
Shove it up your butt and argue with yourself.
Yeah. Please. And then let us know.
Yeah.
That you did that. Today we had a topic chosen
Mm-hmm.
from the polls
Yeah.
on our episodes that we know they're on Spotify. They may be somewhere else, but please vote in our polls. We put good topics. These topics are what we read stories about and come to you. So we like to know your opinion on what we talk about. We had some real hotties vote this time. And the voting for today was texting. Texting. Do you have opinions on texting? Just in general as a whole or otherwise.
Yes. Okay, so even though I was also opening Podcast Addict, so I got distracted on what I was doing. I just wasn't sure if it told me different things. Shopfield. So I just want to know
Oh.
what it looked like. I started playing our episode. Um so okay. I grew up loving to text all the time. I don't really love it anymore. And truthfully, I don't like the ability that people can always get a hold of me. So I'm actually not a big texter. I feel like all I do is text, but I don't like to. And so much
Mm-hmm.
so that I don't really have notifications on for a lot of social media because I don't like that people can
Mm-hmm.
just contact me.
Yeah. I am not a texter. I'm a snapper, and you
Mm.
know that.
Because the voice and the
Um,
video.
I think it's just so much more personal. I know some people think it's a really old thing. People are like, if you're over 25, get off Snapchat.
I've
And
heard
I'm
that
like,
too. 25 is also a
I,
child.
right. And so I'm like, but I want to know what my friends and my family are doing.
Yeah.
I think that sometimes texting is so robotic that I don't enjoy it, but my reactions to other people texting, I feel have gotten I feel like I'm judging people on how they text now.
Mm-hmm.
Some some will do like one long one and that will be their text. And this can go for like
Mm-hmm.
snap messages, like not just texting. One long one I love. A couple little ones I'm fine with those. I've gotten used to those. But I recently have had someone text me 4 paragraphs separate,
Mm-hmm.
and like that's a whole just send me a video.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a lot of time. I think that texting takes a lot of time that is not necessarily for me
Mm-hmm.
anymore.
Yeah. No,
But
I honestly, which granted, we grew up talking on the phone too. And so I almost have preferred that to texting probably since growing up. I mean, even now, like, I'll text with my friends, but like, really, we don't talk that much unless we're doing like a catch up, like phone call.
yeah. Yeah, we'll call each other.
Yeah.
I used to love texting. My sister was a huge texter. Um, I know that because my dad at one point came in when we had to like pay per text. My
Yes.
dad was like, "You guys have to relax." It was mostly my sister, but I really like texting growing up. And as I've gotten older, I think there is kind of what you were saying is like if someone texts you, there's the urgency to text them back
Yeah.
immediately. And I don't enjoy
Mm-mm.
that. I don't I feel like it is like a not a chore, but like a necessity. You have to get back with them so soon. And that's something I don't maybe just social media in general. I just
Yeah.
don't really like that. But texting specifically, I feel like I have to immediately get back with them.
Yeah, and I've started telling people, and I've told you this a million times, like, hey, if I'm not
Hmm.
responding on Snapchat, just send me a text because that's the only one I don't
Yeah.
have. Like, I don't have Snap. I think Snapchat I have turned back on now, but like, that's the only way that's like, it's a surefire way to get a hold of me. But again, that's why I don't like the
Yeah.
urgency. I've actually been really considering. I know it's still a smartphone, but the Razer flip phone that came out, I've been so considering getting it.
Yeah. I'm gonna let you know I did know someone who had just broken half.
Okay, well, that's okay.
Yep. Yep. Well, actually, it may not have been the razor, but it was one that was kind of like that.
Yeah. I don't know.
But
I
maybe they're
just miss
better
it.
now.
But I think it's also that thing
I
we've
do
talked about where I'm
too.
like, I just miss having the internet at home on my computer.
Me too.
It was
Me
so
too.
nice.
If some things didn't use the internet, like I would love to only use like Instagram at home. I would love like certain apps are just on my computer, but then like other apps you have to have internet for.
Mm-hmm.
And that sucks. I would love to just turn off. I do sometimes. I'll turn off my internet. I will turn off my data on my phone and just play on my phone on the games. And just hang out on
Yep.
my phone like but the fact that no one can get a hold of me now, a little bit is freeing.
I know.
But the other part the other part I'm like, but what if someone needs me? Call me then, I guess, but
I know. It's such a hard
I
balance.
do miss that. Yeah. But so anyway,
That's our
that's the
topic.
topic for today. Texting. And
Okay.
I feel like they're looking them up. I was like, I didn't realize like the not controversy, but like so many different things about texting. So I thought it was fun. It was very interesting to do.
Well, because
Uh
I went back and forth about doing the am I overreacting? But I was like, no one wants to hear me read text between two people unless it's like minimum.
oh, yeah, that's true. I really just stick to am I the asshole? But there are some that I'm like, is this topic gonna have things that are like so diverse? And I was really worried that this one wasn't going to, but I feel like there were
So
some
many.
decent ones. So many. Yes. So it's 15, so that's you.
Yes. All right.
You're
I got
God.
two.
Okay, I did grab three. I just grabbed three
No, I get that.
at just out of habit. Um, but yes. Okay,
Okay.
perfect.
Am I the asshole for texting and calling this guy too much?
I saw this one. I don't think I got it, but I did see that.
I, 34 female, have been friends with him, 50 male, for the last decade. This is not the ages I thought this was going to start
Whoa,
at.
whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay,
That is being a
I'm bored,
teenager.
don't get me wrong. But it's for how long have they been?
Last decade.
That's too long for that range.
Yeah, so a 24-year-old and a 40-year-old friends, that seems really different than 34 and 50. I don't know.
It is different.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
different. Okay.
The past 3 years or so, we have an issue where every time he invites me over in advance, he cancels. The only time it ever works out is when he texts me, "Do you want to come over tonight?" or "Do you want to come over right now?" He said it's because he has depression and anxiety issues and sometimes doesn't feel like seeing people. So last time he called me, he asked, "Do you want to come over tomorrow?" I said, "Okay." He told me the day I was supposed to go over, "I have to take my car to the garage after work, so I'll give you an exact time later." So I went home after work, rearranged my entire night to see him, microwaved a quick meal instead of eating something good so I could see him, showered instead of exercising, etc. When it got later, I tried to call him twice. He wouldn't answer, but he did text back that it was going to happen, that it wasn't going to happen that night. I tried to call again and he wouldn't answer. So I got upset and started texting him things like, "You always bail when you make plans in advance. I rearranged my entire night for you. I could have ate a better dinner. I put on this outfit for nothing. Now I can't exercise tonight because I already showered to come see you," etc. I was getting more and more worked up because he was just ignoring me the rest of the night. He said I frustrated him by texting him 38 times after he canceled. Am I the asshole? Edit. Friends with benefits, not just regular friends.
Okay. Okay, the text so many times is a lot. But I'm also gonna say, this is not a friends with benefits situation. This is a friend of mine. I it, have it, I almost this was almost a talking point at the beginning of this. It happened again. I'm a person where we make plans. I've done the exact same thing. Where I don't either I don't eat or I'm getting ready to go do that. My entire rest of my day is about hanging out with this person and then they just don't say anything. I'm again pretty big on just like okay and just
Mm-hmm.
not saying anything again. Let me this happened yesterday and I'm going to be honest, they text me back today and I haven't opened it. So we're doing this live on air.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah. Um okay. So last night I don't care if they see this. Last night they said, "Oh, after we were gonna hang out after I got off of work, and when I was like, "Hey, I just need a second, but I'll let you know, like, let me know when I can come over," and they were not in town. They were not remotely close. So I just said, okay. And that was it. I didn't 37 text them. But they said, sorry, I didn't really know if it was a set in stone concrete plan. And I said, you're the only one who thinks our plans aren't concrete.
Good for you.
Thank you. Oh, the one I did not open was, ouch, I'm sorry. The problem is I never really truly planned my days.
Nah,
So that's the one
bullshit.
I hadn't opened till right now. But honestly, these two people, adults. If you're going to plan something, other people are busy. If you and I have plans to hang out tomorrow, we set a day and a time, even if it's like around this time.
Mm-hmm.
You're in my calendar.
Yeah.
My plans tomorrow after work are hang out with you.
Yeah.
So anytime that someone says, hey, you want to hang out tomorrow?
Yeah.
And I say yes, that's in my calendar. Those are concrete plans.
Yes.
So I understand anxiety. I understand all of these things. I really do. But you gotta send something before that time comes. Before that time gets there. Honestly, I think that the man's the asshole. Don't text people 30 sometimes.
Hey,
just
you know
say
what, though?
okay.
I love her telling him everything she was gonna do. I honestly,
okay, actually,
I think it's hilarious. I rearranged my entire night. I made a microwave meal. I could have ate better. I didn't. I put on this outfit. I can't exercise tonight. Honestly, hilarious. I gave him a play-by-play of what you plan to do, and he ruined it.
And honestly, maybe that is the way to go. Is like, instead of just being like, okay, like, I don't say no worries anymore because fuck no worries. There were worries happening. But like, just saying, yeah, I didn't get to do this. I wore this outfit. I took a shower, so I didn't get to do this. That may actually, like, do they know that when one person makes plans and the other person doesn't, that him just saying, yeah, it's not happening tonight.
Hey, if you're flaky, here's the thing. I'm a flaky person. I have learned this about myself. I'm upfront about that. I will say, hey, I'm not sure, I will let you know. I'm going to be upfront about that. I'm not going to go through the process typically. Now, sometimes I do get anxiety. I understand that. But most of the time, if I know I'm going to bail on someone, I'm going to tell them right then and there. I'm going to, like, I'm not going to wait till the plans. I'm going to give them enough time. I'm going to be like, hey, I just can't do it tonight. And I will, like, I'm not going to be weird and vague. Because I think that's the issue, too. Don't be weird and vague. Just,
I agree.
if you start to get, if you don't want to do something, I would rather you say, I don't really want to hang out, than just bail.
Absolutely. Because then I'm like, okay, well, what'd I do?
Right. No, 100%.
What did I do to make this person not want to hang out with me?
Yep. No, that's,
it is the vagueness.
Yep.
And also it's, now I don't really care about people's personal business, but if this person made plans for, did she say they decided that day or the day before?
Yeah, he had said, do you want to come over tomorrow? And then he said, I have to take my car in. I'll give you exact time later. So that is a concrete plan.
So he even confirmed. That is confirmed. Then it makes it like, well, then who else are you hanging out with? Not even like in a jealous way, but it's like, okay, well, who beat me?
Yeah, did you get a better offer?
Who won? Yeah. Who won out of us? And I know that someone somewhere is going to say that's jealousy, but to me, I'm like, that is just as a person, you bail last second after making plans, confirming plans. I'm not going to think that's anxiety if you told me a couple hours ago you're going to confirm a time with me.
No. I just like you are not considering the other person and you are either selfish or the other person
Hmm.
doesn't have enough weight in your life that you feel like you should be considerate. It has to be one of the two
I agree.
options.
I agree.
And honestly,
Absolutely.
I don't she was voted the asshole. I don't think so. I think she should tell him
She was
more.
voted the asshole?
Every Someone said you're the asshole for texting him 38 times. You texted him literally 38 times, sweetie. If a dude will only make last minute plans with you, he's using you. Stop allowing him to piss you off so much and still get what he wants from you. It sounds like she's more of a backup than anything, which is why only last minute plans work from. Yeah, he sucks, but also don't be mean to
Yeah.
her.
Those things can be true, but that doesn't make her an asshole.
No.
That's her being honest, especially if they have 10 years of of the bullshit. She's known him long enough that she can.
Yep.
Actually, I think that if it was a brand new thing,
Yeah.
they didn't know each other very much, and she did all of that at the beginning, I'd be like, okay. But I think that now they have the rapport that she can do all of that.
I do need to know
And
more about this because how long have they've been friends? 10 years. How long has this been a friends with benefits thing? Because, girl, I do want to say stand up on that. Come on.
yeah, yeah. Don't girl. He's old now.
Girl,
He's old now.
you're in your prime. You can do
You're
better.
good. Oh, you are in your prime. Go. If you want to have some, if you want to have some fuck boy, go younger.
Honestly.
That guy's too old to be doing all that.
Yeah, she could go find her like a nice 25-year-old who's going to think she's incredible.
Absolutely. Yeah, she should be the older like a good 24, 25 if that's what she wants. A good 24, 25. I'm not an advocate for huge like age gaps or anything, but if that's what you want, go younger. But honestly, I think that man is too old to be doing all that.
Well, because that's what, okay, someone said you're the asshole for being naive this long. What 24-year-old is besties with a 40-year-old to begin with? He's literally just an old man that wants young tail. You're getting too old for him now, so you're just horny last resort. Sorry, girl. So.
And all of that can be true, but that doesn't make her the asshole.
Someone said
That
everyone
makes her
sucks. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that his vagueness and like ghosting after confirming a plan is absolutely an asshole move.
Yep. Yeah. I hope she
So
gets what she did. Like, I hope she gets someone better.
well, and also I hope she gets it. She gets what she deserves. Oh, this we're already in, but have you watched Sinners?
Mm-mm.
What an amazing, first of all, amazing movie. Done so well. Like a very horny, hot, scary movie. It was
Okay.
also a musical.
Oh.
Straight up my alley, around the corner, in the back. Like it was fantastic movie. And for some reason, that reminded me of it.
Love it.
And I don't know. I don't know why. Oh, because I said I hope she gets it.
Yeah.
And it was such a horny movie and it was fantastic. Anyway, that was something I was going to write down and then forgot.
Love it. Okay.
So then I remember in the middle.
But I agree. She's not an asshole.
Okay.
So I disagree with the vote.
No, not. I absolutely disagree with that. Okay. I want to say. Okay, am I the asshole for telling my boyfriend I don't like texting that much?
Okay.
My boyfriend and I are long distance currently. He usually texts me good morning, occasionally asks about my day, and sends me some memes once in a while. We usually call at the end of the day, so our texts aren't usually that long. I recently told him I don't text him immediately when I wake up sometimes because I'm tired and don't feel like keeping a conversation. He got really upset about this, and I assured him it wasn't anything personal. It's hard to explain, but I just get really stressed sometimes because of texting. I'm really scared of getting dry messages because then I'd struggle to keep the conversation going, which has happened in the past with internet friends. I've never felt he's a dry texter though. I also feel like the scene thing puts me on a timer to reply, and I hate to seem like I'm ignoring them. I struggle with coming up with the right words and stuff, so it stresses me out occasionally. Texting just feels draining after a while, and it has nothing to do with the person I'm texting, it's just me struggling to keep up a conversation. I've tried explaining it to him, and he seems to be understanding after a while, though he still seems a little down, and he said I wouldn't have to worry about it because he wasn't going to text me as much anymore. I don't really mind getting texts from him. He doesn't spam me or pressure me to answer, but sometimes I take a while to answer because I'm not ready to write a reply. Neither of us are mad at each other, I hope, but I hate to upset him, so I'm wondering if I'm the asshole here.
I feel like I could have wrote this myself.
Like, as I'm reading, I was like, we talked about that. We talked about that.
Yeah, I mean, especially the message like scene thing, that is
Oh,
stressy.
yes.
I turn it off for a lot of people because I don't
Mm-hmm.
want them to know when I've read a message. Because I'm also the person that I feel rude if I just let a text go. So if I'm done with the
Me
conversation,
too.
I'll just like heart the message or thumbs up or something, like just to let you know, like,
Uh,
hey, this doesn't warrant a response. I'm acknowledging it, but so she's not an asshole. I do find it interesting. I've wondered about this myself because, like, a long distance relationship, I was like, I would really struggle with something like that. And now I see some people do.
yep. Yeah. And but especially since they call at night,
Yeah.
I don't think he's actually upset. I think that but I thought for a second, I don't know if you could tell. I thought he was going to say, "Well, I just won't text you anymore." And
That
then I was
is what
like,
I thought he was saying.
that's what I thought was going to happen. I was like, "Don't do that. Don't do that." He didn't. I don't think anyone's the asshole. I don't think
Mm-mm.
he if it's if he enjoys text, but I think it's two texters that have to be together or two non-texters that
Yep.
have to be together. It's really hard for one to be one and one to not be. And like trying to like get into the dating pool, that's something that I'm if someone's constantly texting me, I'm not a constant texter. I don't need to talk to you all day. That's not or
Mm-mm.
like the conversation is going to be an all day
Mm-hmm.
thing. It's not going to be constant. And I let people know like pretty much off the bat like I'm not entitled to your time. You are not entitled to mine when it comes to like this type of thing. I was afraid that that boyfriend was going to say like I just won't text you at all. And then it's a problem
Yeah.
because he's clearly a texter and she's not. But I think so far it
Yeah.
seems okay, especially if they call at the end of the night.
Yeah. Agreed.
I get like memes or like if something funny happened right then, like send that.
Yeah.
But I think that but I like that anyway. But especially if you're going to talk at the end of the day. I think this is fine.
No, I
I
agree.
don't think anyone's the asshole.
Nope.
Turns out we don't have a lot to talk about. We hit most of those points at the
I know. I'm
beginning.
just like, no, my that girl's good.
We're
What?
like,
I mean,
yep, next. Yep, approved. Um the everyone said no asshole here.
okay.
Someone said, nah, but since you guys are long distance, maybe you can make a bit more of an effort to text him. It might be reassuring for him to get little texts throughout the day since you can't see each other. She didn't say she doesn't do that.
Yeah.
Oh, morning texts? I'm not really up for I don't really like to talk in the mornings.
They are sweet, but I guess it depends on what is expected here. Cause like I think firing off a good morning text, simple. You can handle that.
Yeah.
I'm not a human first thing in the morning, so that's probably gonna get more interaction from me than actually being in
Yeah.
person.
But like some I get what she's saying with like, okay, the good morning text means that we have to start a conversation right now. And a good morning, like, oh, good morning.
That can
That
be it. That is the conversation.
that can be it. That's the conversation. If we were with each other, I would wake up and turn to you and say good morning and go about my day.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel I can see where OP was like, but if we do that, then now we're started.
Yeah.
Now we have to do this all day. So I can see that too. Just as I was going back to that. Good morning texts are super cute. And I do like them, but I get not wanting to start my day yet with like conversations wise. So
I
I
feel
do
like
agree
maybe, yeah.
there.
Maybe if she set precedent of like, hey, and the thing is, like, she's going to have to also compromise with him because she needs to meet his needs as well. But I think if
Yes.
she's just like, hey, like, I just don't want there to be an expectation of response at all times. We have our
Yes.
set time at the end of the day. And I think maybe if she has that mindset, it wouldn't be so bad to just be like, good morning, like you said, and
Yep.
then text when you feel like it. When you get that
Yes.
energy to do something, do it.
Yep. Yeah. I'm letting you know I'm awake and starting my day, and you're letting me know you're awake and starting my day. And then we text throughout
Yeah.
if little things happen. And I
Yep.
think that's fine.
Yep.
Yep.
100%.
So nobody's the asshole. Everything's good. And we agree with a lot of
Yep.
those things. That's
Yep.
so funny. I was reading, I was like, we've already hit that.
That's
We've
us.
already hit that.
Yeah. I think it's just like a obligation thing that you and I both are like, I don't want to feel
Yes.
obligated, but also if I have obligated something to you, I'm going to follow through with that. Because also don't commit to something you're not willing to actually. So, okay. Any hooser. Am I the asshole for being concerned about a guy texting my girlfriend?
I also saw this one.
I saw the one that you read,
Yeah.
and I was just like, and I almost clicked on it, but I was just like, I'll just go to this one. A guy who works in the same building as my girlfriend asked her out a few months back. She told him no, she has a boyfriend. She told me about this. She had already mentioned the guy to me a few times, and I had said that he might be into her based on how he interacted with her. He continued to have banter with her and do things like knock papers off her desk playfully. You need to show up to your work and beat this guy up. Sorry,
Yeah.
but
Nope,
how
I
old
hate
is
that
he?
guy.
12?
I hate this guy.
Okay.
We knock these papers off your desk.
Oh, you're getting a knuckle
No,
sandwich.
I hate this guy
Bah!
immediately. I hate this
Oh,
man.
that makes me angry. Like that immediately, I can feel my blood pressure just shooting up from that.
There's a word for it that people use, and guys use that to like get get women's like attention. And I'm like, if anybody ever like, they'll go up and they'll what's the opposite of a compliment?
Like an
What's the
insult?
opposite of a compliment? Yeah, they'll come up and be like, "That's a stupid hat." And
What do
then
they think that's gonna
that
do?
apparently it works sometimes, but it would do my fist in their nose. Like that's
I'd be like, "Oh, you mean the hat that's hiding this knife?" Stab him.
just a gun. Yeah. That's where I keep it. But anyway, that's a real thing. And
That
this
okay. Any men? I know our audience is entirely women. That doesn't work. Don't
no. And
nag.
if it does work on you, don't let it.
No, yeah, you need to go to the
Don't let it
therapy
work on you.
or go hang out with other women. Go do something.
Go. Yeah.
Ugh.
I've heard
okay.
of that though. I've heard of that. Okay, well, hate
Okay.
this man.
So yeah, he knocks paper off. I said it sounded like he might be still trying to flirt with her and asked her to be aware that he may still be hoping for more than friendship. He started emailing her recently, just idle chat. She told me about it and said she doesn't think he has any ulterior motive, just being friendly. She has a very low view of herself and struggled to imagine that anyone could be attracted to her. So I understand that she thinks he isn't attracted to her now. I pointed out that her self-view might cloud her ability to recognize. Why does she think he's throwing papers on the ground? Is he bullying her
Yeah.
in her mind?
I actually he's not flirting with me. He's actually my work Workplace bully.
Go to HR.
Yeah,
Oh
go
my
to
God.
HR.
3 nights
Okay.
ago, she told me she had been chatting to him that morning, and he'd mentioned that his mother has a serious medical condition, the same as my girlfriend's father's has. Good try. She is very compassionate and told him she's there if he needs someone to talk to about it, and gave him her number. They started chatting on WhatsApp that morning, nothing related to the medical issue, and it has continued since. Today she had a nap till 3:45 p.m. when I video called to wake her. What is this schedule? How old is everyone?
Okay, but old enough to have papers on the desk, which means it's like kind of a 9 to 5.
I would
Is it a
assume
weekend?
maybe. Also, I just assume they lived
Maybe
together.
a week. I did too, but that's just my that's my heathen of a brain
Yeah. Okay, so he
that
called.
thinks that everyone lives together.
And when did the nap start? Sorry, I have too many questions about him just saying this stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Why do we care that the nap ended? I
Yeah.
need to know when it started. How good of a
I
nap was this? I'm jealous of the nap.
I know I need yeah. So when I video called to wake her, she was still half asleep and pretty unresponsive, so it was a one-sided conversation for the first 5+ minutes. Mostly just sleepy sounds to acknowledge what I was saying. I stopped talking and she was still quiet. But I noticed she was looking intently at her phone, so I asked what she was up to. She said nothing, just sleepy. I learned in the conversation that followed shortly after that she was actually messaging him probably at the exact moment to say best nap ever. Oh shit. 10 minutes
Oh
later,
no. Oh.
when she had woken up
Oh,
properly
okay,
and we
okay.
started chatting, I asked if she had heard from him today, and she read me out the 20 messages they'd exchanged before her nap. I commented that it was quite a lot of chat and voiced my concern that he might get the wrong idea. I asked if he was still messaging, and she said yes, and told me that she'd messaged him saying best nap ever at 3:50 p.m. Ah, that's where the timing comes in. I
Got
pointed
it.
out that at that time I was struggling to get a response out of her as she was still half asleep. This made me feel a bit aggrieved, as it made it seem like she was more, I think he meant aggravated, as it made it
Mm-hmm.
seem like she was more interested in talking to him than me. This is where the fight began, and she got angry and upset, calling me jealous and paranoid. She looked at the total number of messages in the chat, 160 messages in just over 2 days. I said I thought it excessive for a guy who had asked her out and may still be into her. I said I trust her and know it's completely friendly and innocent on her side, but that it may seem more to the other guy and that she may be inadvertently enabling a potentially awkward situation with him. Who is the asshole here, me or her?
Who's the ass?
Who's the ass?
Who's the ass? How do we know how old these people are again? Okay. Okay. I I think that 160 messages in 2 days with someone who is not your partner when you have a partner is a lot of messages.
That would be, I mean, because I think about, so my family group chat pops off. And there are times I've put my phone down for a few hours and we get about 50.
Yeah.
Between 2 days, that's a
Between two
lot of
days.
messages.
That is a lot of message. And there has to be if she doesn't I suffer from I think everyone just wants to be my friend.
Mm-hmm.
And but even then you have to also be aware that this is your coworker. Even if the whole like she doesn't have a good view of herself thing, this person has asked you out and is your coworker. I love one of my coworkers. He and I think we're friends. I hope he thinks we're friends. But like our messages are either strictly work related or a minimum of like 10 between 5 each if we're having a even remotely conversation about something else. It doesn't go 160 messages in 2 days is so many messages.
And again, especially if you have a partner, how do you think they're going to feel?
Yeah. Well, okay, so does she text her partner over 160 messages in 2 days?
I don't
If that,
think so.
I don't think so either. And so it's like, okay, if it's equal or more with your partner, then it's like maybe that's just the way you text. Like again, some
Yeah.
people love texting, but it doesn't feel like that's the case. Now, do I think that he was a little dramatic? Yes. But
I mean, I feel like
I,
because the whole her waking up and not really talking to him, which granted it is probably easier to text than talk, but like she
yeah.
had to know that that wouldn't feel good.
Well, and she did it during their conversation.
Like that's so
She,
crazy.
that's horrible.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't care how old, unless they're 20 or under, you should know better.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think he's the asshole for commenting about it.
Nope.
I think that that's fine. I think that she's naive, but she's also not just naive, but she is an asshole.
I think she's an asshole too, and I feel like OP's given her way too much because he's like in the fighting for his life, just being like, she's so sensitive and compassionate. Dude, she likes attention from another man. That is what is
Yeah, she
happening
does.
here. It's a new guy. It's exciting. Who knows how long you guys have been together?
Yep.
You need to stop
Yep.
defending her. She is an asshole.
Yep. If the roles were reversed
Mm-hmm.
and this was a man, we would tell them to break up, and I think that we should tell them to break up.
I think they should because the thing is, she knows what she's doing, regardless of her being
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I have low self esteem." You know what's happening. He already asked
Yeah.
you out once.
But well, that's it too. He asked you out before, so you know that he likes you.
Yes.
And her having low self-esteem may increase this because someone's giving her attention. And so it's like this isn't making it, you telling us over and over again that she has low self-esteem is not helping this situation.
No.
It's making this it's making it bad. It's making her go towards him and have all of that. And I don't think it's OP's fault.
Nope.
You guys should break up.
And her having low self esteem does not warrant her getting to do this action. She doesn't get a
Nope.
pass because she doesn't think he likes her that way. No, you're doing something wrong and you know it, and it's inappropriate.
Yes. If OP didn't tell her that, because clearly he's said, "Hey, this makes he likes you."
Yeah.
This I don't know if he's necessarily said this makes me uncomfortable, but saying like, "Hey, this guy you're talking to likes you," so she knows, not just like in the back of her mind, she knows, but like he's told her
Yes.
that it's uncomfy, and she's still doing it. And I don't think there's nothing about this that she gets a pass on.
Yep. Yeah,
So,
the comments are all interesting. Overall, not the asshole, obviously.
hmm,
So people are fighting over whether she's the asshole. And then most people are just like, "Hey, big dog, she's like, why is she entertaining him?"
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah. So I hope OP's doing okay. This was 6 years ago.
I I hope so too. I really hope either she stopped or they're broken up or both.
Yeah, 100%.
And I'm okay if it is both.
Yes.
Okay. I have I have two. I'm going to let you know one of them is just a funny that I grabbed, but if we want to read it, we can. Okay. You get to choose is what I'm saying. Am I the asshole for asking my boyfriend to text me when he arrives at his family's safely? Or am I the asshole for sending a group text to the entire family asking everyone to be respectful of the pizza and not just rip cheese off multiple slices because I'm not that hungry?
Oh my god.
That one could just be a throwaway. It's really short.
Yeah, just go push your family in the lake, honestly, or something. I don't know.
Yeah. feel like that's I'll just let you know that one was not the asshole. For that one, I just thought that was
That's
hilarious.
so funny and so specific.
Okay. It's so specific, which means it's happened so many times.
Yes.
Okay. So, I'm on for asking my boyfriend to text me when he arrives at his family safely. My boyfriend, 31 male, recently drove to see his family who lives 6 to 8 hours away depending on traffic. When he got there, I didn't hear from him for a couple of hours, and when I finally got a text, he told me he'd arrived about an hour and a half ago, then got carried away. I was slightly annoyed and reminded him it'd be nice if he could be a bit more considerate and give me a heads up next time. He then decided to go to his mates when he was there. Oh, cue him going silent and ignoring his phone for the next 6 hours. I finally gave up trying to talk to him and went to bed. The next day, he says he got drunk, probably did drugs, as he says he enjoys doing them, otherwise it's not fun. Huh? And ended up getting home very late and thought there was no point in messaging me. I told him that most people text their significant other if they go out, and when they come home, and when they arrive safely somewhere. He got angry and started yelling at me and refused to see where I'm coming from, especially as he knows I have anxiety linked to stress. The next day, he rekindled the argument by saying he'd asked his mates, and they'd responded by saying that none of them have to check in with their woman like I asked him to. I ended up feeling like I'm being manipulated, so I asked my friends and even my granddad, and they all said that's BS. And they'd message their significant other when they arrived and are busy, and that they've gone out and will message when home, and actually message when home. When I told him my friends didn't agree with him, he claimed it's normal because they are my friends, so of course they'd side with me. And he now thinks I'm an asshole for getting my friends' opinions on the matter. He got his opinions on the matter. Anyway, so am I the asshole? Edit to add, he did agree to message me when he arrived. He also gave me an approximate time of 6 p.m. and we had made plans to call at 10 p.m. before I went to bed to chat quickly. Second edit, I didn't actually know he'd gone to his mates until 11 a.m. and the next day when he woke up and he told me he'd been drinking and had done a small amount of drugs. That's so funny to me. Hence why I was angry he disappeared for 6 hours and didn't give me a heads up that we weren't calling after all, and I waited for him, thinking he was busy again before heading to bed.
I think whether or not you're an asshole is irrelevant. Break up with him.
Break up
He
with
does
this
not
guy.
give a shit. He's either doing something bad. Even if other people, who cares, number one, what your other friends are doing? It's just common courtesy.
It really is. Especially we ask each other to text when we
Yes.
get home, and we don't live 6 to 8 hours away.
No, because he could have wrecked. How would she know? Like, it's just an
Literally.
easy thing. Just be like, hey, made it. Just so the other
Yes.
person's not
Now,
worried.
yes, I do think that sometimes I get home and I put my bag down and then
Yeah.
I look at the trash and I take my trash out. Like, I get if he's like, oh, sorry, I got carried
Yeah.
away. That first time, I'm like, okay, sure. But then they made plans to call that night, and he did not answer his phone or do anything until the next morning.
And again, like, the thing is, you never ask permission in a relationship. Like, I think that's crazy, obviously. But
Yes.
you should tell your partner, I'm going out with my friends. Hey, I made it home. That's just normal behavior. Again, how is
I
she
think
going to
so
know you're
too.
alive?
Right. And maybe that is the woman in us where we like it's about safety. It's about making sure that we're safe when we go out or we're safe when we just drove hours alone. And maybe men don't do that, but at some point it's just being considerate of your partner.
I would think that, and again, maybe it's narrow-minded, just like my family's big on that too, but my partner,
Yeah.
he's big on being like, hey, did you make it okay? Or like, hey, you still doing
Yeah.
okay? So like he checks in, and like my whole family, like if we haven't heard from each other for a little bit, hey, did you make it? Like, and so maybe it's just an over
Yeah.
communication that we're used to, but I'm just like, that's weird. And what is he doing that he doesn't want to tell you about at the time?
Yeah, why can't you, when you're out, be like, I'm having fun. I'm out. Not,
Literally.
no, it's not in a, I don't want someone to tell me everything they're doing at all times of the
Yeah.
day. I'm not checking in that way. It's just like, I hope you're having fun.
Yeah.
Like, I hope like whatever you're doing, you're having a good time. Like, what's up? Are you it's like that sort of check-in, not like, where are you?
Also, the defensiveness and him yelling at her for asking very
Mhm.
reasonable questions. He's cheating or he's doing something bad. Like,
Yeah.
sorry, those are the
Also,
options.
the small amount of drugs. I
What
was
does
like,
that mean?
what does that mean? And what does that have to do with anything? But the fact that she said it twice is very funny to me. Uh, like, does that excuse things for? I don't.
And
And
he's
honestly,
31.
anytime anyone raises their voice, I'm like, okay, go,
Yeah.
get out. Because that was only defensive. And the fact that he brought it back up to be defensive.
Uh-oh. It lagged. Hold on. Oh, it's my headphones. Live on air. Okay. Well, yeah, thank you. Bye. Bye. Bye.